And Chris Ockley, Missouri track fanatic and running junkie, on the phone with Marc Burns, the Mizzou cross country and distance coach. And Coach, tell me, last Friday, Midwest Regional cross country in Ames, Iowa, and Karissa had her usual day at the office and with a dominant win. Just to tell me briefly about her performance.
Yeah, she was outstanding. She just kind of went out and hold on a second, just finishing writing a note. Sorry about that.
No problem.
The game plan was to be kind of conservative early with the weather. It was a little windy, it was cold, and there's no need to the mission for her was to put a low number up for the team. Whatever that was, somewhere, obviously the goal was to win, but we knew that, we just needed a low stick 1, 2, 3 up front to help the team, and then ensure that, she got out in case the team didn't get out. And so the goal wasn't to go out there and make a statement, this weekend. It was just to qualify and get through with probably the least amount of energy used possible. So she can save the big effort for this coming week. So trying to be conservative, kind of thought about, we knew Sharon Lochetti from KU was in there, and that she probably would eventually take the pace, we thought. Just love the way that she was calm and confident and very poised, running up front in the pack for a little bit. And then, we talked about with the wind change. The wind changed from Thursday to Friday. It was coming out of the north on Thursday, and it was coming out of the southeast on Friday. So we kind of had targeted that 3K mark when you make that turn behind the finish line and start going back west on the main starting straightaway. That was the kind of the area that we targeted for her to take the lead and just put the hammer down and run a good, solid, escalated last 3K. And she was able to do that. She executed it to a T and pulled away with relative ease and finished strong and still looked really, really controlled all the way through.
Yeah, I think I saw her last at about 1,500 meters to go, and she had maybe a stride or two on Sharon, and then next thing I know, I'm at the finish, and I look up, and there's nobody else in sight. She wins by 20 seconds. So boy, I'm thinking, boy, if she can do that, just relax, and she's in great shape for next week.
Yeah, she's ready to go. There's no question about it. Midway through the season, there we had just a little chink in the armor, really, for the first time in a while, right around pre-nats, and she just wasn't quite 100%. Nothing major, just wasn't quite 100%. And we worked really hard over the next couple weeks to kind of get her right. And she never missed any training, never affected any of her mileage or anything like that. And luckily, she's just a beast. She was able to get to 100%, and not have to back down at all, which is really hard to do.
Right.
So yeah, we haven't missed any training. I would say her last couple workouts have been as good or better than any she's done ever, including last summer, May and June. And
wow.
So we did a similar workout the Friday before regionals. That was kind of a go-to workout for us, for a 5K on the track. And yeah, she killed it. I mean, she was, like I said, as good or even better than the two that she did during the outdoor track season leading up to NCAAs and USAs. So we feel really good about where she's at. We feel like she's ready to battle. I think there's some really, really good people that she's going to be racing, and we know it. We respect it. You got to look at people like Edna Kurgat is going to be a tough one to get after, and certainly Charlotte Taylor was a 10K champ, and she ran really well out there at the West Regional, and Allie Ostrander was right there. You just don't know what she's capable of. She's so talented. And
right.
Then, of course, you got, Perrier from New Hampshire, and you always got to be careful with Rainsberger and Jones. And
sure.
There's some others out there as well, but I think those are the main characters that we're kind of eyeing up. And I'm excited about it. I think Chris is really excited about it. I think people keep saying, well, do you feel pressure? And I think she feels excitement. I think she can't wait to go out there and see where she stands up against somebody like Edna Kurgat and Charlotte Taylor. And she's just looking forward to the challenge.
And what was that workout on the track 10 days ago that you said? Was that some kind of a ladder or just repeats of?
We do like a 800-meter workout where she goes 3 sets, 3 800s with a minute recovery, and the first 2 are at 5K pace, race pace, and the last one is fast.
Yeah.
So sub race pace, and she would go, usually between 2:24 and 2:28 for the race pace 800s, and then anywhere from 2:16 to 2:20 for the fast 800. So that's all with a minute recovery and then a 400 jog in between. And she does 3 sets of that, 7,200 meters worth of work, and some pretty good quality in there on the track.
Sure.
We did most of our stuff early in the season out on the grass and everything, but these last couple workouts we tend to get on the track just to sharpen up a little bit. And,
right.
So I don't think there's too many people that can do that workout.
And obviously Megan Cunningham had the best race of her career. Coming back 2 years plus after the car accident and the skull fracture and the broken neck bones, and she really capped her season off with a great performance. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, incredible effort. She has worked really, really hard to get to where she is. Obviously, a couple years ago, didn't know if she was going to be able to walk, let alone run again, and really we had to take our time and really nurse her back. And she was patient. She was I should say patient. She was patient in the sense of she did everything she needed to do to get healthy, but she was very impatient when it came to knowing that in her mind she was going to run again, and she was going to run again at a high level. And I think that's what it takes to do what she's done, coming on the heels of that accident. Because you always hear stories, inspirational stories about people that go through things like this, and it's the folks that just have that never-ending desire and just that mindset where nothing's going to stop them.
Sure.
That makes the difference. And she had that attitude. She came and she would walk while we were at practice just so she could be at practice, and she'd walk and watch practice, and then when she could start jogging a little bit, she'd start jogging a little bit, and she followed the directions to a T, but she was pressing hard. She was like, all right, what's next? What do I get to do next? What do I get to do next? When do I get to do this? And then, the trainers and myself, we slowly set a plan up for her, and she just followed it, and man, she's come so far. So really proud of her race this weekend and her year, and just everything that she's done has been really, really exciting and inspirational, and all of that combined. And so she ran a really smart race. She put her nose in it. I think she was up in the top 5 for a while there, and finished strong. 12th in the region, in this regional, is a heck of a race, and something to be proud of.
Well, women ended up 4th, and you look back to last year, and your women win the Midwest regional, and you have 4 all-region performers, and you go on to 6th place, 16th at nationals, and you lose 2 of the 4 all-region performers to graduation, but you have 2 All-Americans coming back, and the national champion, and you think, okay, if Caitlin Fisher can stay healthy and return close to her form, and you add transfers like Sophia Rissett, you get Megan Cunningham continue to progress. Should have a good shot and a good, shot at nationals and a good season. But man, nothing seemed to go right. Starting with Jamie Kempfer, stress fracture. Sophia Rissett busts up her elbow. Caitlin Fisher's only able to run a couple times. Megan Cunningham dislocates her shoulder at SECs and doesn't finish. And for all that to happen, for you still to take 4th on the women's side at SECs and regionals, to me, that was just amazing. Is that how you saw the season? What was your perspective on the women's side?
Yeah, based on everything that we went through, all the adversity that was thrown our way, I think to be in the situation we were at the end of the year was really a testament to the team's, just what a strong team atmosphere we have in our program. And those girls, you got to give all the credit to those girls. They never gave up. They kept fighting. They get knocked down, they'd get right back up and nurse themselves back, and they would get back in the lineup and give it everything they had. Poor Jamie, she couldn't even walk after that race. this past weekend, and we had to carry her onto the bus. So,
oh my,
those guys are really feisty competitors, and I think as a staff, we're just incredibly proud of them and their resiliency, and just what a strong family they are, because they really care about each other, and they just they wanted to be there for each other, and they wanted to fight, and they wanted to go to battle together. And so when you get knocked down that much, it was crazy. Jordan Cleve had a iron level of like 9 or something like that, or ferritin level of 9. So she's getting iron infusions, and Jenna Lutzo's was sick 2 weeks in a row. She got a stomach bug that was going around the dorm, so she was, totally sick for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, the week of the regional meet. You just go on and on. I mean, sure. It was incredible, the things that they went through, and for it to come down to that tiebreaker with Indiana, where common opponents, they were 23-10, we were 21-10. I mean, right. It doesn't get any closer than that.
Right.
And ultimately, we kind of got burned. We kind of got burned by our performance at pre-nats, and that's unfortunate. But at the same time, as poorly as we performed at pre-nats, that was also one of the wins that we got, because Texas was behind us. So right. I don't know. The kind of turnaround that Texas had must have been pretty impressive too, for them to auto out of their region and be worse than we were at pre-nats. But we were battling all the way to the bitter end, and all the credit goes to the girls. They were awesome.
What were you thinking after the meet Friday? What your chances were, and then when FlowTrack, the Coalesce projections come out, and then you find out no, it didn't happen. What was that like, and what were you thinking? Did you think it was a long shot?
I knew that it was going to be close, and I cautioned everybody that would listen not to get too overhyped about the FlowTrack and Let's Run predictions, because they're just not always right. One thing changes anywhere along the way, it changes everything behind it. So you just never know. And I asked a few people to kind of let me know if they heard anything, that may be privy to some of that information.
Right. And
they said, "Oh yeah, sure." And then I didn't hear from them. And then 2:00 came, and I was like, "This isn't good. This isn't good." And then it popped up, and sure enough, we weren't on there. So you just never know. And when here's the thing. I mean, we did everything we could to be in the position we were. But when you leave it to 30-31, as an at-large, it's like one of the last 1 or 2 at-large bids. I mean, these kind of things happen.
Sure.
There's no perfect system. There's probably 5 or 6 teams that are worthy of being in the mix at 30-31, and
right.
We just happen to come out on the short end of the tiebreaker, and next time we got to control our own destiny and run a little better along the way, and we won't be in that situation. So
sure.
It can't. We were excited and certainly very disappointed, but I mean, it's the process, and we know the process. Everybody knows the process. So it was just unfortunate that we happened to be on the bad end of the deal this time.
Right. On the guys' side, you end up 9th at regionals with Thomas George taking 15th. Tell me about his all-region performance.
Yeah, I'm really, really happy for Thomas. He's been working really hard, and we've battled multiple injuries. Not multiple injuries, but he's battled some injury problems throughout his career, and we redshirted last year, which I think was a really good move. Although he was really fit last fall, and showed some signs there, like, wow, okay, this is what he can do when when he puts together healthy training blocks here. And he ran a really good time trial at the end of cross last year. He ran I think it was a 4:09 1600 where he went 2:09. I think he went 4:07 because he went 2:09 158 or something like that. And so we knew he was really fit,
right.
and okay, he's going to be a factor in years to come. We just got to keep him healthy. And then he got home got injured during outdoor track. And then worked with some folks back home and with our training staff, and just kind of finally figured out how to keep his hips healthy. And so we literally didn't really train. One of the things that kind of throws him off is training over hills. And so we just kind of stayed off the hills and kept doing, the rehab stuff that we needed to do to keep him healthy. And he, put together a really good block. I mean, he's been healthy all fall, minus a little bit of time just before pre-nats. He kind of tweaked his Achilles. and he was off pretty much the week before pre-nats. He only ran a couple times, and then he had a great race at pre-nats, and credit to our athletic training staff, he was fine ever since. He never had another problem with his Achilles. So we did it right. We took a few days down and got it healthy, and we're patient coming back. And to see him go out there and battle like that, the kid's a competitor. He is a fighter, and he just needed some time to get some healthy training under his belt. So I couldn't be happier for him. And the way the guys approached the race, was really exciting. They could have easily thrown in, just kind of finished the season because, it was obvious that we weren't going to qualify for nationals, which was the goal coming into the year. You never say never, but it wasn't looking very good. So it would have been easy for them just to go through the motions, finish the season, but they weren't going to do that. They really want to, they wanted, for our seniors, they wanted to battle through the end of the year, and they also want to set the tone for the expectations for next year and the years to come. And they made a pact, and they were dialed in. I could see it from the first practice after SECs that this team was going to come in and have a heck of a race, that they had another big race in them for the regional meet. And I was just really excited for them. They put their nose in it. They did exactly what we had talked about in the pre-race meeting, and they put their noses up there. They hit out. My biggest thing at regionals is you need to be up in the pack, because it usually is a big pack. It's slow, right. But then when it goes the quick. Second half of the race, it goes really fast, and you got to be there to respond. Or if you're back in 50s, 60s, 70s, the race is gone before you figure out what happened. And but at the same time, you got to be up toward the front, but you can't be seen. I'm like, listen, the team that's seen the first half of the race isn't seeing the second half of the race, unless you're the odds-on favorite, so they did it. They got up in the front pack, they hit out. Nobody could see them. We knew they were up there, but they weren't visible. And then the second half of the race, you started seeing Tigers, and you're like, all right, cool, we're where we need to be, and they fought really hard all the way. So I was really, really, really excited for them.
Yeah, Marc Dubrick, the senior, impressed with the 38th place finish. Evan Schulte was 56, and then Austin Heineman's 10K cross-country debut, 30-21 for 65th place, just 7-8 weeks after the World Triathlon Championship. So I think you can be excited about that, and then also excited for the future when you got some of the guys on the sideline that you have, and the guys that you've signed for the future. So,
yeah, definitely. There's a lot of excitement and optimism as we look to the future, and can't wait to continue to get these guys to the next level during the track season, and then welcome our newcomers in the fall. And we're going to have a deep, talented squad. Next year when we hit the cross country course, and really just can't wait for it.
Yeah. Last couple of questions, just thoughts on Karissa. Are you continually surprised at what she does in workouts and races, or have you seen so much of her by now that you just expect her to continually succeed and get faster and improve at the rate she is?
Yeah, I think that it's really easy to kind of get lulled to sleep a little bit, because she's just so good, and she's so consistent with what she does in practice, and she's been able to have a good level of consistency across the board in everything she does, and just in general, I don't think sometimes we don't always realize when we see her work with her day to day, the impact that she's having on the younger generation of runners across the country, high schoolers, middle schoolers. I mean, they all know who Karissa is, and across the country. And we go to meets, and they're just clamoring to get a picture with her and get an autograph or whatever. And it's really cool. It's like traveling with the Beatles. It's like it's exciting for everybody, and she handles it so well. Like, she's just a seasoned veteran when it comes to handling those things, and taking a couple extra minutes here and there to take a picture with someone that means so much to them, and she just understands the value of that. And she on her own this fall, she volunteered with a middle, or I think it was an elementary school or a middle school team here in Columbia. 2 days a week, she was going out there and working with the team from 3 to 5, and just being out there running with them, and it was just like, hey, you gotta back down off that a little bit, kid. Like, you need to take a break. Once you give up one of those days a week, they'll understand. You're getting ready for the biggest race of your career so far, and so she just likes to give back, and she's just a pretty amazing kid, and I think something that Mizzou and our community and our program and our family just can be really proud of, to have somebody at that level that's that good of a person too, and willing to give back. So yeah, it's it never gets old. I mean, we're enjoying every bit of it, and and we're going to continue to enjoy it and help her, continue to achieve at a high level, and then get set up for what's next for her as running professionally.
How has she handled the increased expectations and the pressure and all the attention that have been on her since winning last year, and as she's continued to win? How has she handled that? And I think that even the Flow Track documentary will be coming out if it hasn't already. Just tell me about her handling all that expectations and pressure.
Yeah, incredibly well. She just keeps working hard. She just keeps feeding the beast, and she's working hard, and she knows that if she can just keep the right perspective, keep the right focus on the process, keep the right focus on the day-to-day tasks at hand. The danger of all that is to kind of start believing all the hype and then get away from what got you there in the beginning.
Sure.
And that's really what we've focused on since she won. It's like, hey, let's keep doing the little things right. Let's keep doing all these things the way we have been doing, and keep doing them a little bit better and a little bit better, and let's keep climbing the ladder. And there's still a lot to prove. And she, what's really important to her is to graduate from here and leave this program, better than when she came in. And it's like she's been as integral a part of our recruiting this year as ever before as a senior, and that's not always common for seniors to be that involved, and for her to be that involved. She knows the power of it, and
Sure.
It's really made a big difference in our recruiting this year too. So she's handled it really well. I think she just wants to be one of the girls. She just wants to be part of the team, and she really doesn't like the spotlight a ton. She's not super excited about going to the press conference at 2:00 on Friday, but
Right.
we have to.
Yeah.
we have to. So she's cool with it. She'll be fine, and she'll do a great job. But like I said, I don't really feel like, and we talk about it quite a bit, I don't really feel like she feels a ton of pressure. I just think she sees the excitement of, trying to do something that hasn't been done, very often. And, to come back and win back-to-back would be a really unique thing. And now she's got some really, quality people that she's racing. So it's not like, it's not by any means a foregone conclusion that she's going to win. She's going to have to really race, and she's going to have to earn it all over again. So I think she's really excited about it, and
Right.
not necessarily thinking about, oh my God, what about the pressure? It's more like, hey, I got to go out here and beat these guys because
Right.
people are saying they're better than me. They got Kurt got ranked number 1, she's ranked number 2. Boom, it's a challenge now. She's the underdog again, so
Sure.
Pretty exciting.
And then lastly, have you seen her open up and grow through the success and the attention? I definitely think she looks more comfortable in who she is in front of the camera and the microphones than she used to be. And I think she seems more confident about sharing her thoughts and handling all the attention.
Yeah, she is. She really has, grown in that way a ton. And I think the first Flow Track interview that she had was after she got third at the outdoor national meet her sophomore year, and boy, she got a lot of ribbing from her teammates, because I think she said how excited she was about 15 times in a 45-second interview. So so she quickly learned that, man, I got to choose my words wisely when I'm getting interviewed, and she figured it out. Now she's like a seasoned veteran, and she's always the first one to give credit to her teammates and her family and her coaches and her trainers and her support staff, and she's just always thinking of, the folks that helped her get to where she is. And, I think that's a true champion, when somebody can, really have that perspective, when they're on top. And so I think she's grown a lot. And we're really proud of who she's become, and she was great to begin with, but now I think you're seeing a pretty polished veteran out there, and it's only going to be in the spotlight more as the years go on, because I think she's got a great future ahead of her, and certainly she's able to stay healthy over the next few years, be somebody that has the ability to not just be an Olympian, but maybe even be on the medal stand someday.
Right, yeah. Well, thanks for the time, Coach, and I look forward to seeing how things go this weekend in Louisville, and have a safe trip down there, and good luck.
All right.